So you through with breaking insights on I'm back. Before we get to it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe as you always watch the full video. Make sure you comment happy birthday or happy belated birthday, depending on when you see this video.
Pooh Shiesty's dad just got released on a federal bond in the Gucci Mane kidnapping case. And am I surprised? No, because we all know, and if you haven't, you're about to find out, that Pooh Shiesty's dad is a federal informant, a full-on cooperator.
I forgot all about that. That's crazy. So yeah, so he's going to cover. He's going to tell.
He's been so since 2007. United States Attorney for Northern Texas would announce 9 individuals, including well-known rappers, were federally charged with kidnapping and robbing at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio.
That shit is making it even worse. Even worse.
In Dallas, Texas.
Like, you rob somebody. You rob a nigga that know you. You rob them with other business people. You robbed him with your dad, who was a federal informant. Gucci's security guard is a police officer, or ex-police officer.
8 of the 9 were arrested in one day, including Memphis rapper Lontrell Williams Jr., aka Pooh Shiesty, his father Lontrell Williams Sr. So this is the dad right here. Quick pause, because this might actually help you. But if you're normal, you'll see the onus. Because finance, Bronny James, Pooh Shiesty would like you stay more on top of their finances. And I mean, Pooh Shiesty would even go as far as dissing Bronny James in his first day out song, saying your daddy a killer, but you ain't, you just like Bronny James. And then Pooh Shiesty would also rap about how his dad was his first co-defendant. Well, his dad was also a rat the entire time. I don't know if Pooh Shiesty knew about this. I mean, he has to know about it now, but his dad is a stone cold, full-blown rat. But that doesn't mean he ain't a gangster, because according to this paper,
yeah, I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that because sometimes it be the nigga, it be like a nigga who snitched on somebody or snitched on people, and then he's still coming around, he's still sliding, he's still active. Like, nigga, so what are you gonna do? Most time, a nigga who snitched, you don't go back to your. I mean, most of them, they don't go back. They're looked at as scary and soft or whatever, and then you more likely don't betray the gangster shit no more. But if you're still doing it, nigga, then what is somebody gonna say?
Paperwork during the hearing on April 3rd, 2026, the magistrate court acknowledged the defendant's criminal history, which included 2 homicides before the age of 16. Pooh Shiesty's dad caught 2 bodies before he was even an adult. The man is with it, the man is gangster. That does not mean he's not a rat. Decades of weapons offenses, drug trafficking, assaults, and repeated probation violations typically preclude release. Despite this acknowledgement, the court placed undue weight on the testimony of 4 character witnesses who described the defendant's purported community involvement and concluded that home incarceration was sufficient to protect the community. So they're trying to find a way to release Pooh Shiesty's dad, even though dude is a historical smacker. The feds are saying that the dad was instrumental in the planning and execution of the kidnapping and robbery. The defendant made multiple phone calls to the studio owner to book the recording studio to create the ruse that Gucci Mane and his son would make music together. He transported the crash outs, and he printed the coerced contract by going to a Staples in Frisco, Texas to print out the contract they would force Gucci to sign.
Oh yeah. That's you're helping plan it and execute it. Yeah. No. Nah.
He was also present when his son upped out the Draco that Big Dirty passed him. He reviewed the coerced paperwork after Gucci was crying and signed off on it. He left with property that was not brought in, like everything that they stole from the victims. He remained with the crash outs after the offense and had advanced knowledge of his arrest. During transport following his arrest, the dad spontaneously admitted that he knew about FBI surveillance routes being run in the days leading up to the arrest and that he knew law enforcement was coming on the morning he was booked. Now, Pooh Shiesty's dad's criminal career began in 1991 at age 14 with drug charges and an aggravated assault. Later that same year, the defendant was arrested for unlawful possession of a .45 while on a weekend pass from a youth facility. Months later, he was charged with first-degree murder after killing an individual on Beale Street in Memphis, which he pled down to voluntary manslaughter. At the time of his first homicide, he was only...
It said the defendant committed a second homicide barely a month later, shooting his girlfriend while they were, as he described, playing with a gun. Thus, by the time he is 16, the defendant has been involved in. So you smoked your girlfriend, bruh? Like, cause this is one. It's at age 14, drug charges, aggravated assault. Later that same year, the defendant was arrested, unlawful possession, 45. A month later, the defendant was charged with first-degree murder, killing an individual on Bachelor, plastic, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, voluntary manslaughter for that. At the time of his first homicide, he was only 15. And then this one. So, that means you smoked your own girlfriend. That don't make you a gangster, bro. That don't make you a gangster. This is an accident. Hopefully.
15 years old. The defendant's commission of a homicide while on home release and court supervision. Despite receiving home release and supervision in '93, the defendant committed a second murder barely a month later, shooting his girlfriend while they were, as he described it, playing with a gun. By the time he was 16, he'd been involved in 2 deaths. So he went and killed somebody at 15 years old and was able to get a murder brought down to a voluntary manslaughter. And then he killed his girlfriend after playing with a gun while on probation for the other murder. It's like father, like son, because Pooh Shiesty.
How somebody... You should be done, bruh. I don't know, bro. I want to say he should be done for life. I don't want to say it, but I do want to say it because you got 2 bodies, bro. Within months of each other. You took somebody's life. You got lucky. They gave you manslaughter. Instead of you like, man, I don't even want to touch a pistol. Hey, let me get that one right there.
He apparently did this shit while on a federal release with an ankle monitor on and decided that was a good time to rob Gucci. In the years that followed, the defendant accumulated a staggering record of additional offenses, multiple evading arrests, repeated unlawful weapon possession charges involving 38 cal revolvers, 9mm handguns, stolen firearms, marijuana trafficking with stales indicative of distribution, crack cocaine trafficking, a convicted felon in possession of a handgun resulting in 4 years custody, aggravated assault in 2001 when he pulled a handgun on a woman that hit her and kicked her, causing a dislocated shoulder, large bumps on her forehead, and severe bruises. In 2002, he was again caught with a large amount of crack cocaine. In 2004, he was associated with a 3rd homicide while on probation. His probation was revoked for an accessory after the fact connected to a 3rd homicide in which the defendant's associate murdered a woman and the defendant subsequently used the victim's cell phone and credit cards. That is cold. So while he was on probation, he killed his girlfriend, and while still on probation, his homie killed another girl, so he used her phone and then swiped her credit cards before she even turned cold. Now, Pooh Shiesty's dad was convicted in the Western District of Tennessee in 2010 for crack.
It's crazy that somebody, if this was a major drug case, he will be done. They catching bodies. All right, we gonna release you. It's okay.
cocaine distribution and received a 70-month sentence. After his release, his supervised release was revoked and he received an additional 22 months. Upon this release, he was shortly charged with conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, criminal attempt first-degree murder, aggravated assault and reckless endangerment, after his associates kicked in the door of a home and opened fire, shooting 3 individuals, 1 in the head, 1 in the leg, and 1 in the shoulder. Those charges were eventually dismissed. Damn, so he's involved with like 4 different murders. Now, we're gonna look into this because the whole thing of him getting sentenced in 2010, that comes from a 2007 case. Now, this is the case from 2007. This plea agreement is from 2009. He was hit with a bunch of different counts like crack cocaine, over 500 grams, a whole bunch of big boy distribution charges, right? And as we all know,
so he got a drug case and still ain't go to jail. That's straight, bro.
The only way to get out of that is to what? Based on defendant.
I forgot that. He did. He snitched. I was about to say, like, he had a drug case and he still didn't watch the nigga, but this is why he snitched.
Ongoing and anticipated future assistance to the government, it is contemplated that the government may recommend to the court a departure in the defendant's sentence pursuant to U.S. Sentencing Guidelines 5K1. This would be solely within the discretion of the government and is not part of the plea agreement. Substantial assistance is understood by both parties to require good faith during all phases of the cooperation period, including the defendant's provision of complete and truthful information, which assists in the investigation or persecution of other individuals, and complete and truthful testimony. The defendant acknowledges that the government's determination of whether the defendant has cooperated fully, blah, 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 blah. Basically, he wasn't sentenced to 70 months initially. He was sentenced to more and got 2 different reductions based on how much he was cooperating with. And then part of his plea is to continue to cooperate in the future. So not only was this man a gangster, involved in 4 different deaths total from what we know.
You gotta say 3. Because the girlfriend one, that's not gangster, bro. At all.
This man was also a stone cold rat, and the worst kind of rat. Because he didn't just snitch and fucking change his life like most. He snitched and then did another home invasion where someone got head tapped. He snitched and kept being a gangster. Stayed in the streets. Had Pooh Shiesty running the streets looking up to him as a fucking role model. Now he's wrapped up in a case with his son. And I mean, I talked to Vlad about this because I don't think there's any chance he's about to do any time.
Because here's the thing.
Well, fucking Pooh Shiesty's dad's already a cooperator.
Really?
Pooh Shiesty's dad's a rat. Whack 100 dropped the paperwork. I validated that shit. Pooh Shiesty's dad went to the feds and got a 5K1 motion for agreeing to cooperate now and in the future on future cases.
Damn.
Oh.
You think his father's gonna do it? Fuck no.
Fuck
It's
no.
gonna be a Queso and Queso's dad too.
I was just about to say that. Nigga. Like, this about to be a whole another version of that. He gonna fight, nigga. I'm old, you young, you can do the time, I can't. And plus, you already did this shit before. It ain't gonna hurt to do it again.
2.0. Nah, I thought I was just printing some shit. I ain't know my son was gonna pull that bitch out. I ain't know he was gonna do all that shit. Pooh Shiesty's dad really ain't do nothing but stand there. He ain't pull out a gun.
Well, right, but according to the paperwork, Pooh Shiesty put a gun to Gucci's head, made him sign, handed the contract to his dad, and his dad said, oh, it's missing a date. Gave it back to Gucci with the gun still brandished and had him sign. You can't say, I had nothing to do with it.
No, he can say,
in the room
he
when
can
guns
say,
getting pulled out.
Your Honor, Gucci was under duress, I was under duress. I ain't know my son was gonna pull that big ass gun out. He can run it the same fucking way.
Literally. Still, nigga, they gonna be like, all right, you didn't know your son was gonna pull that the strap out, but you didn't stop him. Did you at any point did you say, hey son, put that down, put that away, let's not do this, let's go, let's just leave, let's not make him sign this paperwork? Did you say that at any point? If you didn't, nigga, what? Top of the morning and thank you.
Really the same way. Homie, he pulled a gun out and all of us in the room shit ourselves. We didn't know he was gonna do that.
And that's exactly how I feel his defense is going to be, because literally he didn't do shit. He's going to have to cooperate on his son if he doesn't want to do a life fucking sentence, because as old as he is now, he ain't going to be able to last a 30-year sentence. And I mean, they're all facing a shitload of time anyway, but he's going to cooperate against his son. I guarantee you. And especially after Queso's dad just publicly testified, the feds ain't like that. You're not going to see cameras. It's not going to be streamed on YouTube. You're not going to see that shit with the feds. He's going to be able to snitch. No one's going to see it. He's going to come right back home like nothing ever happened. He's not going to hold it down for Pooh Shiesty. Why would he? He's been a rat. His son crashed out. He's going to look at himself like the victim. Oh, I didn't know you were going to do that dumbass shit. And that's how he's going to project it. I didn't know he was doing this. I didn't know he was doing that. He's going to fully cooperate, fully testify, see how much time he can have knocked off his sentence. He's going to tell the feds, look, I snitched before. If you send me there, they're going to kill me. They're going to send him to some cupcake shit, and he's going to come home. I highly doubt he gets off completely like Queso's dad.
Yeah. Yeah. You more likely probably do some type of time, but it's going to be crazy because think like you... Like if I'm out here portraying like I'm this super gangster, and then my daddy this super gangster, and you got all these snitch allegations, and then you turn around and snitch on me too, bruh? Nigga, bruh. I know, nigga, I would be sick. I would be, because you knew better. You knew better, bruh. If a nigga snitch once, bruh, he gonna do it again. You do not want to do any type of crime with this man. And you did it. Because he thought, oh, this is my dad. He ain't, or at least he probably sits on them. He ain't gonna sit on me. Okay.
I did, because then again, this is a federal case. But that's exactly how I see this going. I don't see a rat making an honorable decision over a dishonorable event when he's already lived dishonorably his whole fucking life. It's one thing you do some gangster shit with your boys and you're like, I'm not snitching, I'll take my time. That could be considered honorable in that lifestyle. But if you've been a rat almost your kid's entire fucking life, you're not gonna feel bad about snitching on him. You snitching on everybody. It doesn't matter. You made an agreement.
Should though, but
cooperate on future cases. You knew you were gonna still figure some shit out to tell the feds. So that's what I'm banking on. If y'all want to set up a little parlay, a little whatever, Kalshi predictions, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna put my money that Pooh Shiesty's father is gonna cooperate.
I ain't gonna lie, if it was me, bruh, I would not have been with. I wouldn't have been with him. If you already got this, I don't know, man. It's just slide with somebody that has already snitched. It's like that's just you setting yourself up for failure. That's to me, that's dumb. Very, very dumb. Make sure you like and subscribe.